Good morning.
Morning, guys. My name's Gabriel. I'm from Birmingham in the UK.
And I'm Emily from Cambridge in the UK. And we are both based in Rome at the Ponte Lungo School.
Mm.
Today we're going to do
There's
reminiscing.
yeah, reminiscing from our quarantine bedrooms about our childhood. Yeah, if there's anybody out there, please let us know what your name is
Please nod if you can
and where
hear.
you are. And please nod if you can hear us. Yeah. Good.
That's a noisy ambulance.
Sorry, my area is particularly loud. It's a particularly loud area for Rome.
Is your window open, or is that just how loud it is with your window?
It's not open. I can make it even more virtual if you prefer.
Oh, lots of students.
Tommaso from Brescia.
Very nice.
Francesca from Bologna. And Giuliana from Salerno.
And Viviana.
And Viviana from Palermo.
I used to live in Palermo. I used to work at the Via La Ragione school in Palermo. And Tiziana from Milan. Loads of people. I'm always surprised because I am so lazy. How many students we have at 10 a.m. But it's great.
Are on at the 10 a.m. Fresh-faced and ready to.
And
Gaia from Napoli.
Yeah,
we have a really nice spread from all across the land, don't we?
Yeah.
Good.
And Elena from Palermo. Yeah. Oh, but a student of mine is in Milan. Yeah. I really liked living in Palermo. Yeah. It was a beautiful city. Viviana, are you at the Libertà school or the Via La Ragione school? And Leonardo
from Giuliano Abruzzo.
Very good.
Oh, okay.
So today we have school days. Remembering your school days, used to and would, school and phrasal verb, vocabulary. So lots of different stuff to look at.
What kind of school did you go to? I wonder what the this is a little bit because in the UK, what is a public school is in fact a fee-paying school, which is a little bit confusing. But we might just, I guess, we could just split it up to start with into public, private, and religious. I guess into the idea of a state-run school, a fee-paying school, or a religious school. Religious schools are probably less common, I think, in the UK. But what type of school did you guys go to? Leonardo said he went to a public school. Francesca.
That's kind of clear. Yeah, so public school has different.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I think these guys are.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah. about state schools. Public, free. So for this lesson, let's say a public school means it was free. Because the UK terminology is a bit stupid.
I think the US terminology makes more sense when we talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Private and religious school. Okay, cool.
Scientific high school. Okay. Kind of more specialized. That's more common. We saw that in a webinar the other day, didn't we? We were talking about the fact that there seems to be more specialization in certain higher or kind of almost college level schools in Italy than there is in the UK.
Yeah, I think it's at 14 they have to choose. There's a lot of variety. At 14 they have to choose for their high schools in Italy. If they want to go to a liceo or to a different type of high school, like accounting, or I'm trying to think of all the different types. But there
I think one of my friends went to a cookery school or something like that as well. I think at 15 or something like that. Did anybody else do that kind of specialization thing that we have? Titi
I
said.
think you kind of have to. There's no one general type of high school, because even the liceo would be a scientific one, or a classical, or a linguistic.
But I wonder if there's a difference between like a streaming or a course, or like a kind of selection of specialization, or a specifically specialized school, in the sense that I think a cookery school.
Oh, you've frozen. Okay. Gabe's internet is not great, so sometimes he freezes, like now, in a slightly strange position. So we will continue, and he will probably disappear and then come back. Classical high school, scientific. Yeah, good. State school in Lecce, very nice. Pedagogic high school. Huh. So, yeah, usually we wouldn't say, so lyceum is nice. It's a nice old classical term for that type of school. I think we would just say high school, or you could even write liceo if you prefer, because lyceum we just don't use in English. You could, yeah, and Tommaso. So we would say accountancy. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, or accounting. So, guys, what was your favorite subject, and what was your least favorite subject at school? And we can answer the next question as well. What were you good at or not good at? So what you were good at, this means your strongest subject. Not necessarily that you liked it, but that you received good grades in it, 10 out of 10 or A plus. Oh, so back to the social. I'm just going to check what your name is, because I don't. Oh, Leonardo, good. Maths? Leonardo likes maths. Was that so, Leonardo? Was that your favorite or your least favorite? And Juliana, all the scientific ones. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. We'd probably say were. My favorite subjects were all the scientific ones. Great. And just while we're on that word, scientific is the pronunciation. It's quite often one that Italians find difficult. So not shy, but scientific. Italian and English literature, and my least favorite subject was math. Yeah, great. Just because we've got, two different spellings here of one subject. One is American and one is British. So math with no S is the American spelling, and maths, oops, with an S is the British spelling. Both are correct, math or maths. I was good at Italian and I was bad at math. Yeah, good. My favorite subject. So, Elena, careful here. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. My favorite subject, singular, was Italian literature. And let me spell literature for you too. You've spelt it in quite an Italian way, which is nice. Literature. My favorite subjects were natural science and history. I didn't like philosophy and art. Yeah, great, Titi. Very good sentence. We don't study philosophy. So when I was in high school, actually, yeah, philosophy wasn't an option until I was 16, actually. Between 16 and 18, I could have studied philosophy if I wanted. You could choose. And Francesco loves science as well. Great. Yeah, Francesco. Oh, no, Leonardo. Oh, I can't remember your name. I'll go back and find it. Leonardo. Okay. Leonardo loves science. So Gabe is trying to join us again. He'll probably be here in a second. Okay. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to answer this question. Hi, social again. I think that's your first message. Could you let us know what your name is so that I can talk to you? I can only see your YouTube account name. So this is who I'm talking to. From Pescara, study at Myers, Rome. Which do you study at the Ponte Lungo or the Bisolati school? Because I teach at the Ponte Lungo school in Rome. What's the name for I guess a non-liceo high school? Yeah, a specialized high school. We don't really have Deborah. Cool. We don't really have a proper translation of this in English because the Italian system is different. So we don't have an equivalent in the UK or in the USA either. We would just say in the UK we say secondary school. You could have a specialized secondary school or a specialized high school. Yeah. Okay. And Malma Creations, what's your name? Because I don't want to have I would prefer to respond with your name. Studied art, great. I loved art at school as well. Okay, let's look at this grammar that we've got on the screen. Used to and would. Maura. Yeah, good. Nice to meet you. Hi. So on the screen we can use, oh, maybe Gabe's coming back. Oh, there he is. Can you hear me, Gabe?
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah.
Francesco from Florence. There's so many people. It's great.
I could see the chat and it was frustrating not being able to join in.
Do you want to read through this?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how far down you are on it. Have you?
We haven't.
You just got onto this slide. You just got onto this slide. Okay. So we can use used to in the past to talk about something that was true but isn't anymore. I used to be shy. Now I'm more confident. You can also use used to talk about something which happened regularly in the past, but doesn't anymore. I used to skip classes with my friends and go to the mall. Do you want to take over for would?
Yeah. Would is usually nostalgic. We would stay after school and hang out for hours. I have a lot of comments to make on this stuff. Because
shoot.
It's some of this needs, in my opinion, some of this needs to be clarified a bit. So where it says here, we can use used to in the past to talk about something that was true but isn't anymore. So this would be with verbs like to be, to have, to like, all of those stative verbs, which don't describe an activity, but they describe a state or a condition, a fact. We cannot use would in this way with this type of verb. So would, to talk about the past, describes an activity, something you like with used to in this sense, a repeated activity in the past that you don't do anymore today. We can't use would to describe something like this, a fact. And also, so let me give an example before I move on. We could say like this here, I used to be shy. Now I'm more confident. We can't use would in this context. I would be shy. It doesn't make sense. If you say that, it sounds like a conditional sentence. You're not describing the past. But we would stay after school and hang out for hours. That's a repeated activity. So we can use would here. And then my second comment is that would, it says usually nostalgic, but not always. You could use would to describe a bad situation as well. You could say, when I was at school, the other children would bully me. That's definitely not nostalgic. The important thing is that would describes an activity and not a fact or a condition.
Yes, it's more about kind of recollection in that sense and memory, isn't it? Nostalgic is not necessarily the most appropriate word, because nostalgia tends to evoke positivity through memory, doesn't it? Positive memories in some way, warm memories, I think. But that's absolutely true. Yeah. So what, guys, can you give us some examples of stative verbs? Just so Emily was talking about not about being able to use stative verbs with the first example of used to, but not being able to use stative verbs with would. What are some stative verbs?
Stative verbs are important not only in this context with would, but also with continuous tenses. We cannot use stative verbs with any continuous tenses, because a verb in a continuous tense just has to describe an action over a longer period, not.
I feel like that rule is gradually losing importance, though, particularly in spoken English. I feel though that I think I often use stative verbs in continuous sentences as well. Is that bad English, or is that English changing in some way? I don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I like to have solid grammar rules to tell the students, though. So sometimes
it's true.
Like is a stative verb. Great, absolutely. Feel, love, like, hate, good. All of those verbs to describe preference.
Excellent.
Feel, actually, I think feel is not a stative verb. I think feel, how you feel is more of an action. I'm feeling sad at the moment. It's fine.
Yeah.
So feel is not a stative verb, but love, like, hate, and prefer All of those verbs of preference, absolutely. Any
Yeah,
other?
I was feeling unwell yesterday.
Yeah.
I was feeling unwell.
Think. So need, Viviana, need is a stative verb. The others aren't. I'm thinking about moving to France. I'm looking at the TV, or I'm looking at the sky, and what about hope? Think and look.
No, hope isn't either. I was hoping that I could go to the supermarket the other day.
Yeah. No.
Need is a
Is stative.
Need is stative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the three. I don't think so.
But believe and know are good. Those are stative. So let me write the stative ones of what we've said so far. Need, like, love, hate, prefer, know, believe, like, think, hope, believe, know. Okay, cool. I'll add some extras. Be, have, but have for possession. So we use have with some. Yeah, good, exactly. Viviana. Cost. Yeah, good. Cost. Yeah, so have in the sense of possession. I have a cat, not I am having a cat. But we can use have with some nouns to describe an activity. So if it's to have a shower, you can use this in the continuous because it's not possessive. She is having a shower, or we are having dinner. That's fine. Yeah, Francesca. So, yeah, so used to, we can use with all of the stative verbs. That's fine. We look in the first sense at the top here. I used to be shy, now I'm more confident. So that describes something that we've got here was true, but isn't anymore. So it describes a condition or a state. I used to be shy, now I'm more confident. It's not an action, but a condition. We can also use used to like this to describe an action, a repeated action or activity in the past. Not a condition, but an activity. I used to skip classes. Would, we can use to describe the past. It's not conditional in this sense, but we can only use it in this second way. We can only use would to describe a repeated activity in the past. We would stay after school and hang out. We cannot use would with all of the stative verbs that we were just talking about. Only with activity verbs.
Because would is demonstrative of actions, not of states, not of memories of a state. Yeah.
Yeah. And smell and taste.
Smell and taste.
Oh, I'm smelling something. I'm smelling this flower. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's not stative. And that's a good.
It's an action still, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a condition. To taste and smell something is not a condition. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I've been talking a lot. You take this one.
Okay, so there's a gap fill here with regards to school vocab. We have a list on the right. Truant, skip school. Truant here is an adjective. I don't know if that has a a translation in Italian at all, but truant means you are you. It is the descriptive word to describe somebody who skips school, who leaves lessons and goes I don't know, goes into the city or does bunks off, we might say, to use slang. Then we have to be a troublemaker, nerd, teacher's pet, and well-behaved. So if we start with the first one, I was a big in school. I would get straight A's every semester.
What do we reckon, guys?
Mm. If you've watched any American TV shows or things like that, I think this would probably be quite a yeah. We have from Juliana and Viviana. A big nerd. Excellent. A big nerd. Emily, were you a big nerd in school?
I wouldn't say a big nerd. I was a small nerd.
You're a small nerd.
I was a bit of a nerd.
You were somewhat of a nerd.
Yeah. Yes, I quite liked school. I liked studying, and I did quite well at school. But I was very careful not to be too keen, to be too enthusiastic, because that was that would have not.
Yeah, a nerd is somebody who, guys, if everybody's not sure on that one, a nerd is somebody who loves studying and studies very hard. I think it's a somewhat of a pejorative term to describe somebody who likes to study. Often it could be used in an offensive sense, but it could also be used in a friendly sense, I think, to describe somebody who loves to study.
I would say, I think today I'm definitely a nerd and proud.
Mm-hmm. I think nerd has somewhat lost its offensiveness a little bit as well. I think I would also identify perhaps as a bit of a nerd in some respects too.
I would identify you as a bit of a nerd, Gabe. Okay, let's move on because the students are going ahead of us. So number 2, I was so no one liked me except the teacher, of course. I thought other were just jealous, but I was probably very annoying. So we have here, no one liked me, and we've got lots of correct answers already. Juliana is teacher's pet.
Elena,
teacher's pet. Yeah, absolutely.
Teacher's pet, yeah.
Yeah, the teacher's pet is always an annoying person in class. When you're at school. Someone who wants the teacher to love them, a student that wants the teacher to love them, and tries very hard. It shouldn't really be so negative, but it has quite a negative connotation. Although now that I'm a teacher, I love to have teachers' pets in the class.
It's true. It's true, isn't it?
To an extent, it becomes problematic sometimes if the student wants to answer every question and doesn't want to give the other students a chance. That's not so good. But
that's just poor etiquette, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Juliana says the third is pupils, students, and Francesca, teacher's pet and pupils, students. Great. Good. So it has to be, I mean, apart from the context, it has to be this one because it's plural. So other students were just jealous.
Either students or pupils, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, I had a ton of friends, but I was a big and used to really parents, teachers, and even friends.
Eleanor's got it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Eleanor's given us the answer, so I'll put it in. A big troublemaker.
I suppose a truant could also be a noun, couldn't it, as well?
I don't. He's a truant.
Can you say a truant?
I'm not sure. It's a lot less common, definitely. Okay, here are all the answers. Yep, everyone's got troublemaker.
It's both. Yeah, it's both a noun and an adjective.
Okay.
Yeah, troublemaker. Great.
Okay, so number 4, I was mostly, except for occasionally, to go surfing. Let's be very careful with this one, guys. You need to choose the correct vocabulary, but also you need to adapt, you need to change the verb a little bit for the context, for the grammar of the sentence. So you guys, you've all put the correct answers, but how do we form? So I'll put here, well behaved. Absolutely, that's an adjective. But what is the form of this verb? So it's the last one, obviously. It's going to be skip school. But we have to change the verb a little bit. After except for. Yeah, good. Viviana's got it.
Skipping school, excellent. Yeah, truant is only a noun or an adjective, so we can't use truant in this sense. We have to use the verb to skip school.
Great. Yeah, Titi's got the.
Yeah, skipping school.
Cool. So after except for, we need the gerund. We need the ing form. Good. Da-da-da. So use used to or would to talk about what you did at school during break time, the sports you played and now don't, and what you were like at school. E.g., I used to play basketball but quit because of an injury. So, some examples, guys. Using used to or would.
And remember the rules about would and dative verbs.
Yeah. So write us some complete sentences using these two forms, these two structures, used to and would. And maybe Gabe and I can make some examples as well. You've got some vocab here. You can use this, or you can invent your own sentences. That's fine. But complete sentences so that we can check your grammar. What sports did you used to play, Gabe? At school?
I used to play water polo.
Did you?
For a bit. Huh. Yeah. I used to have a good water polo team.
Did you go to a state school or not?
Not for my secondary school, no.
I'm not sure there are many state schools with water polo teams.
No. Not in the UK, no.
A good example. When I went to high school.
When I went to high school, I used to dress very dark. I prefer.
Oh, that's good.
Prefer to also dress in different colours.
Maybe Titi wasn't emo.
Or goth, yeah.
Are you writing something to TT?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Because I was just going to say, TT, after the verb prefer, we need the infinitive with to, or the ing form. So now I prefer to use, also different colors, or I prefer using, also different colors, which is because of the verb to prefer. It's with the verb like, love, hate, prefer, we always need then the normal infinitive or the ing form. But good, really nice example. Other examples, guys, with used to and would? I could give it. I didn't used to be a troublemaker in school. I was very good. I was well behaved. I'm going to write this.
Are you a troublemaker now? That's the implication, isn't it not?
Oh, I see. Because I didn't used to be.
I didn't used to be a troublemaker, so the implication being you're a huge troublemaker now.
You added the word huge.
Okay, that's true. Francesca says, during break time, I used to smoke a cigarette with my friends, even if I couldn't. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think we would say even if I maybe wasn't permitted.
Or even if it wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
We assume you mean in the sense of it was forbidden. It was not allowed.
Yeah.
Because even if I couldn't carries the sense of you weren't able to, I guess. You weren't able to smoke the cigarette or something.
Yeah. Weren't able physically to do it somehow.
Yes, rather than what was legal or what was banned by school.
Yeah.
When I went to primary school, I used to be well behaved, but at secondary school, I was a little bit of a troublemaker. So, well behaved, Elena, is an adjective, so we don't need the article a in front of that. We could just say, I went to primary school. I used to be well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
But at secondary school, I was a little bit of a troublemaker. Troublemaker is then a noun in that sense. So we do need the article in front of that. We would say just well behaved without the article, because well behaved is an adjective, but troublemaker is the noun. So you need to swap round where you've put the article.
Next one we've got, when I went to high school, I used to be the favorite of my teachers because I used to be a well-behaved student. My classmates didn't hate me because I used to help them during tests. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a great example. So you were the teacher's pet. I can't remember social again. What was the name of that person? I think it was Deborah. I'm going to find your name. Sorry, 1 second. Deborah, yeah. Okay, cool. So Deborah used to be a teacher's pet, but her classmates didn't used to hate her because she would help them during tests. Yeah, good. That's good. I would always say to my friends, So maybe,
You
so
say to my
Tommaso, maybe
friends.
we would say, I would always say to my friends to be well behaved during the lessons. And this is one of the, I know the verbs say and tell are really confusing in English because they both have the same translation in Italian. And I sometimes, I struggle to explain the difference. But when we give an instruction or an order to someone, we would use the verb tell rather than say. So I always would tell my friends to be well behaved. So tell, wait. Someone to do something. So I would tell my friends to be well behaved. And then we need the infinitive to be, because like Gabe was saying, well behaved is an adjective. It's not a verb. So to well behave isn't a verb. You say to behave.
Well behaved, like well mannered or something like that, is an adjective. Well plus the participle in that sense is always an adjective. Well behaved, well mannered, well educated, always going to have an adjective there. And then we have from Viviana, during break time, I would love meeting other people from other classes. Okay, just watch out again. You may have swapped them around in your mind. Love is a stated verb in that sense. So we could say during break time, I used to love meeting other people from other classes. Because love is that stated verb and we can't use it with would.
Yeah. Very nice. Should we try and get these phrasal verbs done then?
Yes, let's get on to them.
We can at least connect them. So there's quite a lot of material in this lesson. So we've done some grammar with used to and would, and now we have some vocabulary. Match the words to the correct definitions. We'll start with drop out, to drop out, but I will read through this right-hand list. Tell us first what drop out means. So we've got to feel like you belong somewhere, to advance to the next level, to have fun and not take things seriously, to report something to an authority figure, to study one topic intensively, and to leave education early. I don't know why we're missing two here, but to leave education early. So drop out, and then you can tell us those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can give us the number. You don't need to write the whole thing, but you can if you want. I know phrasal verbs are everybody's favorite thing to study at 10 a.m. in the morning. Okay, good. Yep, Daniela is correct.
Yeah, perfect.
So I dropped out of university. It's a true story. So I left university before I completed my degree. I dropped out. Yeah, good, Tommaso, Francesca. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly, Tommaso.
Okay, good. Play around. Was always my favorite thing to do. Yeah, again, Daniela's got it.
Yeah, and from Titi and Francesca as well.
Great, yeah.
To have fun and not take things seriously. Yeah. Move up.
So I could say, for this one, I could say, usually I was well behaved, but sometimes I used to play around in class.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, number 2. So, Tomas, I'm not sure which one he wants to.
That may have been for the last.
Oh, that was probably for the last one. Yeah.
That may be. I think that was for the last one. Yeah. To move up.
Very good. Yeah.
This is a good one. Swat up on.
This is what nerds do. I think both.
You could also call. Sorry.
No, go.
You could also call a nerd, I think, in some respects, a SWAT too.
Yeah. I think SWAT is even better. Yeah, guys, that's good.
Exactly. Yeah, Daniela and Francesca. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you SWAT up on something, it carries a slightly negative connotation, like the word nerd. Not strongly negative, especially today. I think it has become less and less negative, but
it's a bit of a joke. Yeah, to say Emily, you SWAT. You've revised. You've looked at this topic before.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just trying to give examples to SWAT up on, and then we would need the subject. I'm swatting up on Renaissance history, or I'm swatting up on my Italian irregular.
Hello, Tony.
Tony, you're very late.
We have to leave. We have to a minute, Tony.
Okay, good. Yeah, we've got loads of correct answers. I was distracted. Is number 4 to report something, but it's not to report something to an authority figure. It is to report someone. So the object of this verb could be a person. I could say, Gabe, I'm going to tell on you if you don't. I don't know. If you don't.
Yeah, the focus is on me, not on what I've done or something. It's more the fact that Emily's going to almost betray me to an authority figure in some way.
Yeah. So this is not correct. You don't report something, you report someone. And the last one. Well, there's only one left. Let me put her, and then we can do some examples. To feel like you belong somewhere. Yeah. So when I was in secondary school, for 2 or 3 years, I felt like I didn't fit in. I didn't feel comfortable with my classmates, but then I made some good friends, and then I fitted in better. And when I was 16, 17, 18, I fit in. Okay, good. We need to finish. It's 10 to 11. Have a good day too, Tony. I think it's a nice day today.
Nice day. It is a nice day. He says that every time. Nice day, eh?
Canadian.
It is a nice day.
Nice day, eh?
It is.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Bye,
Bye, guys.